Good afternoon, church. We've entered into the time of year again where it's time for us to consider and select those who will serve in leadership positions here at FCC. Every year we have the opportunity to select those people to serve in these positions, but sometimes there's some confusion about why this process matters or what the different leadership offices actually do. And so I wanted to take a couple of minutes just to clarify some of these things. I wanted to start off by talking about why this whole process matters. The men and women that you choose to serve in leadership positions here at FCC play a lot of different roles in the life of our church. Some of them provide guidance and direction for us as a spiritual entity. They make sure that we maintain faithfulness to the gospel. They make sure that we stay focused on our vision. They help clarify what that path looks like, and they prayerfully care for the people of FCC both as a group and as individuals. Other offices serve a different role. They keep us focused and they guide us as a business and organizational entity, making sure that financially we're taking care of the resources that God has entrusted us with, that we're maintaining best practices in those areas, and that we're taking care of our facilities and staying ahead of decay to make sure that we have good tools and resources to use for future years of ministry. So what do the different offices here at FCC do? Well, let's start with elders. Elders are the primary shepherding leaders here at FCC. Our elders meet sometimes once, sometimes twice a month, oftentimes twice a month for different purposes. Mainly, we pray a lot. We pray for our church as a whole. We pray for individuals in our church and the different concerns and needs and encouragements that they might need in their life. We talk a lot about the vision of the church, and we go back and forth and we come up with ideas and game plans and ways to stay focused on that vision to make sure that we as a church are achieving the goals that we believe God's called us to. We talk about strategy, we talk about ministry endeavors and initiatives specifically, and really maybe the most important aspect of the eldership is they keep me in check. They trust me a lot, as I hope a lot of you do, to lead this church, but they provide the necessary insights and wisdom and years of experience that I oftentimes lack. That could be, at least that's the service that I value the most from our elders. Some qualities to look for in elders. They're laid out for us in the book of 1 Timothy chapter 3. It says this, "Here's a trustworthy saying, whoever aspires to be an overseer desires a noble task. Now the overseer is to be above reproach, faithful to his wife, temperate, self-controlled, respectable, hospitable, able to teach, not given to drunkenness, not violent but gentle, not quarrelsome, not a lover of money. He must manage his own family well and see that his children obey him, and he must do so in a manner worthy of full respect. If anyone does not know how to manage his own family, how can he take care of God's church? He must not be a recent convert, or he may become conceited and fall under the same judgment as the devil. He must also have a good reputation with outsiders, so that he will not fall into disgrace and into the devil's trap." Because the elders at FCC serve as not just shepherds, but leaders, some other qualities to consider in potential elders are those capable and skilled at leading. You might consider men who possess vision and know how to pursue vision. On maybe the more spiritual aspects of things, I would personally consider men who are humble, men who remind you of Jesus in the way that they speak and love and in the way that they serve, men who are teachable, men who are eager to learn more about Christ and how to walk with him, and men who express a genuine care and passion for his church here in Monmouth. Next, let's talk about deacons. Deacons in the Bible are those who are selected to serve the church in specific capacities. Here at FCC, just because of the way that our selection process goes, deacons oftentimes are those who are already serving at the church. In fact, many times people become a deacon because they've been recognized as servants. These are those individuals who are integral to the ministries here at our church or who are overseeing ministries at our church. Something kind of special here at FCC, our deacons, because of how our bylaws are written, also have the potential to serve as elders in the future. In fact, you can't be an elder at FCC without first serving as a deacon. And this gives, the reason for this being that it gives deacons a chance to look into the eldership and the life of an elder and to see what that office requires, to see if that's something that they desire or that God has laid on their heart. And it gives the congregation an opportunity to kind of put the spotlight on people to see if this is somebody who could potentially serve as an elder in the future. So because our deacons can also become elders after they serve one term, we also have a leadership training process that our deacons go through to kind of equip them both with leadership skills and with the spiritual insights that an elder would need to faithfully serve here at our church. So what are some biblical qualifications for deacons? Again, this comes from the book of 1 Timothy chapter 3. In the same way, deacons are to be worthy of respect, sincere, not indulging in much wine, and not pursuing dishonest gain. They must keep hold of the deep truths of the faith with a clear conscience. They must first be tested, and then if there is nothing against them, let them serve as deacons. Some qualities that I personally would look for in deacons are those men and women who are anxious to serve, who are willing to jump in and help pretty much with anything, those who have a servant's heart. I would look for men who are humble, again, who are teachable, who don't make a big deal about their service, but just enjoy serving Christ and serving the church. And I would also, because of the unique position that deacons serve here, I would look for men who have the potential to maybe one day be shepherds of God's people. Maybe with a little bit of investment, they could be somebody who cares for and tends to the flock. So these are some things to consider when selecting deacons. Next, let's talk about trustees. The trustees here at FCC are those people responsible for overseeing kind of the big picture maintenance of our facilities. Our facilities manager oversees the day-to-day things and some minor maintenance, but when we talk about big picture stuff, we're talking about maybe major purchases we need to make in the future. Maybe some of the mechanical systems in the church need to be kept an eye on, like our sprinkler system or our HVAC system or our roof or something like that. Our trustees, rather, are those people who keep an eye on that and kind of lead the charge in making sure those projects are taken care of. Trustees here at FCC serve, and so for that reason, maybe the same qualifications as a deacon ought to be considered. Are they people who love to serve? Are they people who have a good reputation? You know, we're not going to be embarrassed to find that so-and-so is a trustee at the church, even though they live a duplicitous life. You know what I mean? So our trustees are those people who oversee kind of the grounds and things. So next, let's talk about the financial secretary and the church treasurer. These two offices deal primarily with money here at the church. The financial secretary assists our bookkeeper in counting the offering and providing accountability to our church bookkeeper. They also serve on the finance committee, voicing their opinion and speaking into that. And then our church treasurer is an office that is responsible for overseeing the financial committee, setting meetings, running meetings, so on, but also serving as a liaison between that finance committee and the church board. So because these two offices both deal with church finances, qualities to consider are those who are trustworthy with funds, those who are honest, also those who are responsible, not those who are going to be lackadaisical in their approach to this, but those that are going to be diligent in making deposits, in writing reports, in keeping spreadsheets up to date, and so on. It's very much an administrative office, but it's essential to the function of our church here. So that's just a brief summary of what the different offices here at FCC do. So maybe the next question is, what do I do next? Well, the first step is to make sure that you have your membership here at church officially. Please don't assume just because you've been attending for years and years and years that our records reflect your membership. According to our bylaws, only officially recognized members can vote in this process. So make sure you call up. If you were baptized here, your membership is reflected in our records. If you have officially transferred your membership here, that will be reflected in our records. Otherwise, we don't know. So make sure you call and check. If you're interested in being a member at FCC and being a part of leadership selection, be sure to attend our First Steps class that happens on the first Sunday of every month so you can learn more about what membership is, what it means, what it doesn't mean, and what members are expected to participate in here at FCC. So that's step one, make sure that you're a church member. Step two is make sure that you're 18 years of age or older. And I know you don't have to be 18 to be a Christian and to be a member of the church, but for those who are a little more mature in life, we want you to participate. We don't necessarily want If you're baptized at 12, we don't necessarily want you to be selecting the financial treasurer because you may not fully appreciate the significance of that decision. So if you're 18 years of age or older and a church member, step 3 is locate a nomination form in the church sanctuary or call the office and request one be emailed to you. This is a list of individuals who meet the requirements according to our bylaws to serve in these various leadership roles. Look those over. If you see a name on there of somebody that you think maybe they have a potential to serve here, talk to them about it. Give them a call, shoot them an email, look them up on Facebook, find them at church. Just talk to them a little bit. Say, would you be interested in serving here? Would you feel comfortable with that? I think I might nominate you. What are your thoughts on that? That's what this process is about, getting to know these people and asking them, feeling out for yourself, rather, if you feel like they're somebody that is called to serve. And if they are, put their name down on a nomination ballot and have those turned in the ballot box located in the church sanctuary. So that's a brief summary of the leadership selection process here at church and a very brief summary of the different leadership roles and what they do. If you have any other questions, feel free to contact the church office or contact me through email, jordan@fccmonmouth.com. We'll do our best to answer those. I hope you all have a great afternoon, and be sure to prayerfully consider the leaders coming up this year. Bye.